Hi, everybody. I'm Brittany Lewis, the host of Forbes True Crime. Joining me now is Isaac Stanley Becker, staff writer at The Atlantic. Isaac, thanks so much for joining me.
It's great to be with you.
In the past few weeks, troves of emails and text messages sent to and from Jeffrey Epstein, released by the House Oversight Committee, have really been driving the headlines. But you have some reporting on the emails that Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's accomplice, has been sending from prison. So to start off the conversation, what did you learn from this correspondence?
Yeah, I was really interested in looking at these emails because, as you mentioned, there's been so much attention on Jeffrey Epstein and a kind of drip of release of some of his communications. But Jeffrey Epstein is dead, and there is someone who was convicted of crimes, related to his conduct, who is still living, and that's Ghislaine Maxwell. So over the past couple months, she's been emailing family members of hers as well as a member of her legal team, and describing the vastly improved conditions at this new prison in Texas that she was transferred to. So she had been held at a facility in Tallahassee in Florida, and then she was moved to this facility in Texas shortly after her interview in July with the number two at the Justice Department, Todd Blanche. And it's unusual for a number of reasons. I mean, most starkly, just the fact that Bureau of Prisons guidelines state that sex offenders are supposed to be held at a low security prison minimum, and this is less than that. It's minimum security, so that's unusual for starters. And then in the emails, the tone of the emails is really cheerful and kind of grateful, because what she's doing is kind of reveling in the vastly improved situation she's in, and also the kind of particular treatment and even perks that she's getting at this facility. So most starkly to me, she has this very unusual relationship with the warden of the prison, where the warden is acting as this kind of go-between for her with her legal team, emailing documents, scanning documents, setting up and kind of facilitating particular visits by members of her family, clearing those visits, allowing them to bring in personal technology, ensuring they get snacks and drinks during the visit. So she's really quite happy. She's been quite happy over the past couple months, and it's easy to see why, because she is in this relatively comfortable situation in prison.
I want to talk about all of that, but first I think we should start with the tone because that was most shocking to me in your piece. I listened to a lot of the interview with Ghislaine Maxwell and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, and what struck me the most about those conversations, those tapes, was that the tone a lot of the time in her conversation didn't really match what exactly they were talking about. And Ghislaine Maxwell in 2021, she was sentenced to 20 years. She was found guilty of really heinous sex crimes, some involving minors. She was a member of the elite. Now she's a pariah in all of polite society. She's most notoriously known as Jeffrey Epstein's accomplice. But you're reporting that there was not a shred of remorse, self-reflection, sadness for the victims in these emails. I mean, dive a little deeper in there for us.
Yeah, Brittany, I didn't know exactly what to expect when I first started sifting through these, but I thought that there would be some kind of sadness in them, if not for the victims, then for kind of her own situation, her own conditions. This is a person who, as you said, has had a kind of spectacular fall from grace, a member of high society, cavorting with politicians, business elites, academics, and now she's serving a 20-year prison sentence. So I expected there to be some kind of sadness, again, if not for the victims, for her. But at least in the dozens of emails that I reviewed, there isn't a trace of that. Now, it's possible that this is just one piece of it, and maybe it's not representative of the kind of larger set of emails that she's sending. But if this is representative, it's absolutely devoid of that kind of emotion. And what it is cheerful and optimistic, and talking about vacation destinations that she likes. She talks about how she loves Croatia. It's one of her favorite places in the world. One of her family members was visiting there or was emailing her from there. She uses little expressions like "it gladdens the cockles of my heart," and remarks on that as a classic English expression. So it's the way one would email under ordinary circumstances with family members and with others. I found that really striking.